Thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. Good morning, Benji.
Daily life for Captain Sir Tom is returning to normal. But he'll never get used to the fortune he raised for NHS charities.
It's an enormous sum of money, isn't it? Can you imagine 40 million or whatever is in a big pile, what it would look like? Didn't come to me, unfortunately.
He seems to personify virtues that we think we've lost. With his wartime background and with his longevity and as a family man and all the rest of it, he became the kind of perfect avatar of what we would like to think that Britain could be.
Always had porridge for breakfast, always, without change.
He's like a sort of secular version of the Queen. We were in this time of great crisis and anxiety, and people looked to him and they said, you know, there's a kind of Britishness that reminds us that we will prevail and we'll come through this.
He knows it's licking time.
Tom Moore, the building materials salesman, would find it all very hard to believe. Throughout the 50s and 60s, he worked long and hard.
If I had to do the extra mile, I did it. It was intent on making progress. You could see a bit more in your pocket.
He specialised in a cheap and versatile material, concrete.
I've supplied the concrete block facing for the new flower market at Covent Garden. And I went out to help Barcelona Airport being built.
Business was looking up, but back in Britain, a helping hand was needed.
You've got a huge economic boom in Britain in the 50s and 60s, but you don't have enough labour. It's as simple as that. So there is a huge demand for unskilled, cheap labour. And the place that fulfills that demand is the Commonwealth. So the West Indies, India and Pakistan. And you have this huge influx, hundreds of thousands of people, and they go to areas where there's the work. So they go to London, they go to the West Midlands, so the engineering and so on, and they go to places like West Yorkshire, to the mills.
Tom was now a manager in Gravesend.
Having been to India, I was used to Indian. I was the first person in the town to employ a Pakistani, and there was resistance amongst the other workers against him to begin with. Eventually, I accepted him and it was all right, but initially there was resistance.
I think that all immigrants into this country should be controlled.
Half of them are coming over here without jobs. Consequently, they're making it very hard for our own people to find jobs.
Britain was a society in which a lot of people had never seen a non-white person. You know, they'd been raised with an unthinking sense of superiority and a whole set of attitudes that now would seem quite shocking. And so I think particularly when the economy starts to stutter and people are looking for scapegoats, then the new immigrant population sort of becomes a target.
The West Indians, they were super workers. They worked and they worked and they worked. They all worked hard.
If we, the coloured people, can meet the English people on their own level, in discussion, in relationship, I think the harmony will be better. Personally, I think so.